There goes. Chapter 8. Those were some of my many fun times, but life can't be all fun, and that leads me nicely on to school. My parents decided the right and proper thing for a young English boy to do was to be sent away to boarding school. Thank goodness I'm not English, or that young really. To me, aged 8, it was a mad idea. I mean, I was still hardly big enough to tie my own shoelace, but my parents both felt it was the best thing for me. And so, with the best of intentions, they sent me away to live and sleep at a school far from home. And I hated it. There were some great moments, like building dens in the snow in winter and getting chosen for the tennis team. But on the whole, it was a survival exercise in learning to cope. Coping with fear was the big one. The fear of being left and the fear of being bullied, both of which were really very real. I missed my mum and dad terribly, and on the occasional night when I felt this worst, I remember trying to muffle my tears in my pillow whilst the rest of the dormitory slept. In fact, I am not alone in doing this. Almost everyone cried, but we all learned to hide it, and those who didn't were the ones who got bullied. As a kid, you can only try so much before you run out of tears and learn to get tough. It has made my detest bullying in adult life. If I see it anywhere, I go mad. I was lucky to avoid being on the receiving end of this bullying at that young age, but it means that I had to learn to cower and keep the radar. The cowering and hiding are bad emotions for a kid to learn. We are allowed to make camps in the woods with our buddies, and a blind eye was turned when we sneaked off to build even better secret camps in the out of bounds area. We held do or die conker championships where we soaked our conkers for weeks on end in vinegar to harden them up, and then once a term table tennis competition was treated like Wimbledon itself. Every Saturday night, the whole school would crowd into the hall, parked on benches to watch a classic old Second World War film on an old flickery cinema, and afterwards we each got one chocolate bar as our weekly treat. I would cut this up into segments and ration it for as many days as I could manage. I could never do that, I would just eat it straight. That's why I'm fat. We skated on the frozen lake in winter, which was tested for strength by a poor Latin teacher on our horizontal ladder. The straw that we made from the bat broke the camel's back was when I was caught kissing the daughter of another headmaster whose school we were staying at on our way back from a field trip. I wasn't entirely to blame either. 15 of us were sleeping on the floor of a gym in this school we were staying at for a night, and during the evening I spotted the young teenage daughter of a headmaster looking us all up and down. That night she crept into our dormitory in the dark, brave girl for venturing in a room full of 13-year-old boys. Very bad. And she then volunteered to snog one of us. My hand shot up like a rocket and she came straight over and slapped her mouth over mine. Age 13, I didn't realise that it was possible to breathe and kiss at the same time. So 30 seconds later I had to break free, gasping frantically for breath. She looked at me like I was some weirdo and then ran out. Her parents had got together and agreed that the best punishment would be to send us back to school after the term had ended, to make us spend a week on our summer holiday copying out Latin textbooks. It worked. That was the nail in the coffin for me. I left prep school with the determination that no child of mine would ever be forced to go out of their will. See you tomorrow.